La, da, 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 da. Hello, my gorgeous ones. Please pop on in. We are going to wait for a little bit longer. Hopefully we'll get some people coming on for us here. Why does this not want to be very good for me right now? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, sweethearts. Susan, hi. Oh my goodness. It's so late there, Susan. But I am happy you are joining us anyway. Welcome. Hey, everybody. Come on by. Come on and join us here. Come on in and join us. Wonderful. Hi. Hi. Come on in. Hi, my loves. We should have some fun tonight. I've got some great new questions. Hello. Right. We are going to be doing some great things tonight. Oh, yes. And by the way, everybody, I had to do some intensive inner work development. Oh, sorry. Trying to get all Shayla's cat hair off of me as well. But 11:30 p.m. It can't be 11:30 p.m. for you. Oh, that's right. That's right. We went an hour behind, but you guys are still like the time differences. So, oh, no, I'm glad that you're still awake. Hey, everybody, come on in. So, everybody, we're going to wait about a few more minutes. We're going to let some more members come and see us, and then we're going to get started. But, yeah, I had like some really, really intensive inner work I had to go through. And I was with all of my beautiful guides here, and the thing is, it's not just you guys who can hit blocks, right? I do the same times too. Like, I'll get into my routine and then something doesn't feel right. All of a sudden I don't feel right. And I know when I start not feeling right, it is because I need to do some sort of development at that point. And what was called of me this week was to do some very, very intensive inner work where I literally had to use my cognizance to go delve into my memories at a very focused point and discover a lot of truths that I didn't even know were there myself. However, I was able to get through these, and now I'm feeling my energy is back. I'm feeling much lighter, and I'm like, gosh, yes. And not only that, but developing my communication with my heart, my mind, and my entire vessel as well. So thank you ever so much. Oh, Monique, thank you. Fayez, I'm doing much better. Thank you. Fayez, today I am from Canada, but we seem to have a few of our members here, which is wonderful. Lucinda, Jose, thank you so much. Right, okay. So let us get on with our wonderful meet and greet here. Now, for those of you who are our new members, I am Kulipup. Okay, you can say Kulipup, Kulipup. My name is actually much, much longer than that, but if we were here to hear my name, we would be here for frickin' ever, so we're not even going to do that. Just know that if you feel love in your heart, you're feeling my name, so don't forget it. Good evening, Vita. Hello, my dear. Hi, Sarah, sweetheart. Right, so again, just a little bit about where we are and everything like that. So Frequency 51 is, of course, a group full of wonderful individuals. We are all here to develop. We are all here to progress. We are all here to learn so deeply about ourselves so we can understand who we are. Because when we understand our inner selves, our inner environment, we understand the world around us at the same time. And when we understand the world around us, we can change it. We can change it for the better. We can just be great together. And that's what our goal is here at Frequency 51. So now is a time for us to get to know some of the wonderful individuals who make up this beautiful group, right? And this beautiful energy. Rootless, hi. Hello, my sweetheart. I missed you guys too. Lindsay, hi, Dave. Oh, I'm doing much better. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you ever so much. Right, so first and foremost, what I'd like everybody to do is let's see where we all are in the world. Now, a couple of you have already posted your location, but I want everybody to jump in and just give us a type and let us know where you're from, okay? You don't have to, don't get me wrong. If you're just like, I don't want people knowing where I live, that's okay too. But we could all start with this way. So, of course, I am located in a little town called Kitchener. And this is based in Ontario, Canada. I'm about an hour away from Toronto as well. So yes, as Charles was saying, anybody who is near Toronto or anything like that, hey, you know where I am. Monique, you are in Maryland. Wonderful. Susan, you're in England. Virgin, you're in New Jersey. Right, wonderful. So we've got the UK, we've got America, Sweden. Laura, wonderful. Oh, and again, I can't wait to reply to everybody in their language, which is wonderful. Bika, you are near Edmonton, Canada. Wonderful. Michigan. Oh, you're so beautiful and have big energy. Kids. Oh, thank you, Jose. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Jose, tell us where you're from. Tracola, Canada. Jessica, New England, USA. Wonderful. Rootless, India. Beautiful. Lindsay's from Manchester, UK. Awesome. Chelsea, New Jersey, but originally from London, Ontario. You know, we always say small world, and it's like, well, it's not, but we always attract people who are closest, isn't that? Jennifer, Keith, baby. I'm like, is that a place or is that a person, Jennifer? I have no clue. Oh, but it's wonderful seeing where we are. Now, everybody, you've given us where you're from, and please keep it coming in. Where your location from? Now I want to know, what do you love about where you are? If you love, or what do you like, or what has brought you to your place where you are living at the moment? I know for myself, what brought me to Kitchener was my mother when I was 15 at one point, but I never liked it. I grew up in BC, in a very little, in a small valley called the Kootenays, and it was beautiful. There were literally glaciers. I would look out my window as a child and see glaciers and everything. And then I moved to Kitchener because, you know, my mom wanted to try something new. And then I'm like, there's no mountains, there's nothing, it's flat land. But, you know, we're stuck here. Dennis, truth or consequences, New Mexico. Well, of course, we want truth. We want truth, Dennis. Truth, please. Monique, the scenery and the jobs, right? Oh, the scenery. I would love to try it. Virgin, my kids live here. That's fair. That's fair. Oh, to be honest with you, I'm planning to move back to BC. That is where I will be coming from for next year, right? Because, oh, I'm tired of this flat land. I want trees, mountains, and all the beauty of just nature, and I want to roll in mud and everything, and I definitely don't want to roll in the mud here because it's no doubt a swamp. Okay, let's have a look here. Bika, financial stability, BC was beautiful, but no work. Yes, yeah, that can be it. Susan, I'm in Lincolnshire. It's nice and flat, seas for miles. Yes, well, it is. I couldn't take the flatness when I was in England. I couldn't take it. Laura, Sweden has the most beautiful summers. The smell of wet asphalt in summers like no other. Oh. Laura, I'm going to have to empathize with you in the summer. I'm just going to connect with you just so I can use my nose and smell your energy. That sounds beautiful. Jessica, Mom was adopted at a young age after her mother's passing, originally from Kuwait. Oh, but moved to the East Coast with adopted family, which brought me here. Right, right. So family ties, got it. Thank you for sharing. Wish I lived in Kuwait. Yeah, me too. I wish so too, Jessica. Sarah Onala, Northern Michigan is pure beauty, clean, fresh air, lots of water, and I see your photos and I love them. Dennis, I actually teared up and down the West Coast, and what brought me to it was the freedom, the beauty of Rocky Mountains, and the ability to live rent-free. Bravo, my dear. Bravo, my dear friend. I agree. That sounds wonderful. Aruntless, my whole family is here in Mumbai. Oh, nice. Monique, I was born and raised in Los Angeles. Oh, wow. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, you guys. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, let's know a little bit more. And by the way, during this whole thing, if you have questions, if you have a cool question, like you want to know about something about the group members or so forth, please ask it. Please ask. This is here to just, let's all have a lot of fun, right? Now, I've got 9 very interesting questions for us to go through tonight, which I would love to hear more from you guys. Now, when I am doing a question, I am going to be inviting any group member who wants to come on camera with me here, and you can answer one of these questions for us. All right, and then please, by all means, I want answers from everybody if you're happy to give them. So you can post your answer in the comments, or we'll see if you can come on video for me to answer one of these questions. Now, Beta, you say, I'm originally from Poland, lived in Greece for a year, would love to return there. Oh, gosh, yes, I know one of our, we've got a couple of members from Greece, and oh, it just looks lovely. I want to go to Athens myself. Eventually I will, I'm sure I will. Wonderful. So, the questions that we have in store today, and of course I'll be answering them too, is, question number 1 is, what is the coolest experience you've had so far during the awakening process? Number 2, what is the funniest thing your spirit guide has said to you? Now, when we say said to you, it could be communicated with you, it could be anything, however they communicate with you, but what did your spirit guide or your spirit do that made you laugh? Number 3, how far have you gone following the messages of the universe? All right? So, like, literally, like, even if you're just like, what the shit do I do? Do you keep going? Do you turn around? Like, how far have you gone? Number 4, what piece of information did you learn that just blew your mind? And you're just like, what? This changed my whole world. Number 5, if stranded on a desert island, what 3 items would you bring and why? Number 6, if you choose a hobby that now seems, if you could choose a hobby that would now seem totally out of reach, financially or time-wise, you just can't do it right now, but what would that hobby be and why would you take it up? Number 7, the apocalypse is coming. Who are the 3 people apart from your family, of course, family, we're assuming all your family is safe, who you would bring with you on your quest for survival? Number 8, do you want to know why you're a light worker? If yes, will you pursue it, and how will you pursue this? And last question there, if you are in a situation of fear, panic, or anxiety, what are 3 steps that you would take to bring your mind back into focus and in the now moment so you can go further? So those are our 9 questions that we are going to go through for this evening as well. So let's go back to the comments here. So we've got Christine, Australia, Perth. You're from Perth. Wonderful. Oh gosh, what time is it there? It must be like 6 or 7 in the morning. You are a trooper, because I know I wouldn't be looking at a live at like that early in the morning. So Christine, thank you for joining us. Jessica, woo, I'm a hot mess, fresh out the shower, lol, about camera. That's okay, you don't have to, but you're welcome to come on. Chelsea, I'm not a group member, just got included to your page 2 days ago. Is it okay if I hang out for the live? Of course! Chelsea, this is for everybody. These questions, we like to get to know everybody, right? And as we interact with each other, just because I can't physically see you, just because I can't, it doesn't matter. Like, we're still interacting, we're still gaining energy, and hey, maybe if you want, you can always become a group member in another time, if you want to. Like, no pressure, goodness. All right, Jessica, fantastic questions, thank you. Jessica, lightworker duties, would like to know why, and yes, I'd go for it. Well, hey, we'll see firstly. Christine, 7:43 a.m. Oh, bless you, still. I'm like, I still would not be up this early in order to do a live, but thank you very much for still coming out with us. Okay, so let's have a really quick think here. Now, let's go with number 1. If you would like to answer question number 1, which is, what is the coolest experience you've had so far during this awakening process? Now, before you all jump to come on board on camera here, I just want you to remind you, this is not like, you don't have to be high frequency in order to answer this question. You can be just a very new member, you could be in the lower frequencies right now and building up, but still, what is the coolest thing you've experienced during this awakening process so far? So if you would like to come on camera with me, please just send me a request, and I will, of course, I will accept that. But let's have a look here. So Monique, being accurate on helping others, right? So I'm guessing for you then, Monique, that was when you like literally maybe did your first few readings, or when somebody came for you for guidance, you're like, oh shit, that was totally correct. I remember that moment. I do. I definitely do. I think for me, the coolest experience so far is when I wrote my first ward. I came out of the shower and the mirror is all steamy and all foggy. And what I did is I wrote a ward to amplify my power. Okay, so I drew a ward on the mirror to amplify it. And I could feel the flood of energy coming from that ward. So as it was in front of me, if this is the ward here, it was in front of me, I could feel the flush of energy that was coming from this ward. So what I did is I'm like, I'm just going to step to the side. And then I didn't feel any energy. So I'm like, whoosh. And what I did was I felt it. So I kind of caught it in a ball. And I was just like, because I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan, I'm an anime kind of person. And what it is like, I held it and I looked at my shower curtain. And I was just like, and I told the energy that I want my energy to basically push the shower curtain or thingy. So I took the ball and I went and I threw it. And my shower curtain like waved. And I'm like, yay! In the physical. Because although I have a lot of abilities in the physical, like, I don't work on them as much. Sorry about that, you guys. So that was my coolest experience. Let's have a look at you guys here. Jessica, coolest experience, seeing spirits in the physical realm, just as clear as I see you. Freaking fantastic. Who did you see, Jessica? Who did you see? Did you see Amishtal? Did you see Herolden? Or Heroldenhoff? Who did you see? Sorry, not Herolden, Heroldenhoff. Tell us who you see. Monique, yes, excellent. Jessica, first one I saw was a fetch, a reaper. Yeah, that was probably Heroldenhoff. They're always in black, these dickheads. Sorry, I do not like angels of death, and I still have a video that I need to do to explain that, but I don't like them. Monique, that's so cool. I know, I was totally like, wards, this is so cool. But since I learned how to do a ward, I also learned how to, my sentience was guiding me on how to do the wards with my body whilst creating a vortex to amplify my, my will, my wishes for the universe. It was really cool. So let's have a look here. Dennis, I has always been a minimalist and try to do my part with the planet, but for me it means I actually saw the true beauty that's around us. Wonderful. It was literally the difference of looking at a tree and a picture and going to touch one yourself. Dennis, I think that is a wonderful comment. Absolutely wonderful comment, because I can relate to that so much, and I'm sure so many of our members can relate to that. When you go from a lower frequency and you don't really see things, you can't see the beauty in a lot of things because you're so stressed you don't see anything. But as soon as you raise frequency and you start to be yourself, feel with your heart and become aware, it's like Dennis said, like you look at a tree, and I've done that. I've walked and I'm just like, wow, the colors, nature is so beautiful. This is absolutely amazing. And it is wonderful. So thank you so much for that comment. That was beautiful, Dennis. Arunless, I started with doodle art and created mandala designs, which I had never even tried before. Now I create every day and it's so much appreciated. Yes, that's so cool. When you draw, Arunless, that is beautiful, because I definitely know that feeling also. Please, if you're experiencing these things, comment as well. But shoot, yeah, when you start drawing things and you realize that they are valid, that they have a meaning, and and you're like, wow, I didn't even, what the shit, it's an amazing experience. It's wonderful. I drew Egyptian. I was drawing Egyptian hieroglyphs when I first started waking up, and I was just like, "What the shit is this shit?" So I had to literally scroll online, finding the symbols and their meanings. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm writing hieroglyphs. This is crazy." So that was cool. Monique, my brother came to my bed after he passed. Oh, how did that make you feel? Were you calm? Were you secure? Or were you like, "Holy shit, I love you, I know you're here, but this is kind of creepy. Can you go away?" What were you like in that moment there, Monique? What were you like? Tell me. Jennifer, I'm so grateful for Spirit leading me to you. Oh, bless you, sweetie. I appreciate your love and energy and being a medium for Spirit. I'm sharing in my group, but we'll watch later. Oh, yes, please, Jennifer. Come on back whenever you're ready, and I'm grateful for you as well, because I tell you, every one person that wakes up, which means that you can literally wake up a lot more individuals. So thank you so much. You know, I'm appreciating that your spirit guided you to me. Wonderful. Jessica, it was dragging with it, hesitant soul across the road. Oh shit, that was really creepy, Jessica. Sorry, like, that's creepy. But hey, just because I know all about these guys, just because I can see into the ethereal and I can see demons and negative energies and so forth, doesn't mean they're not like, ugh. Yeah, I'm still like, that's morbid. Oh, rootless. Now I try to be guided by my higher self to create my next design. I close my eyes and get some images or words. Oh, keep going, rootless. Keep going. It is amazing what you will be able to create. Absolutely amazing. And just track everything, because I promise you, your spirit will set you up, will leave breadcrumb trails now where you're not aware of them now, but literally when you raise in frequency, you're going to go back to this and you're going to be like, oh shit, this was the secrets. This is what I needed. And you would have literally given yourself your own clue in order to progress later on, right? So it's freaking wonderful and amazing. Virgin, learning how to look and feel your heart and see there's a lot of love. I've seen a lot of clouds. Yes, right? When you start to feel your heart properly, it's amazing. Oh, what wonderful experiences. I love this, you guys. Monique, scared, right? This was the beginning and I wasn't ready. Oh, I tell you. I feel you, Monique. Because the first time was it my subconscious that I was seeing? Yes. The first time I ever saw my subconscious, it was before I was truly awake. I would see my subconscious all the time, the black figure, but I thought it was a night terror. So I did not think anything of it. But when I saw it, I was scared the shit out because it would approach me. I'm like, ah! You know? Don't worry. I promise you, Monique, you are more powerful than anything that is out there, so there is no reason to ever be scared, but it's kind of like, ugh, creeped out, and then you delete them. Vanquish the little bugger balls. Okay, Laura, the other day I saw something clear as day. When I walked around to take a closer look, when I got there, it was nowhere to be seen. I've played it over and over in my head. I think I might have tapped into my clairvoyant abilities. Hey, yes. I'm going to let you explore that, Laura. I'm going to let you explore that. And what I want you to do in this moment, just because it's the teacher part of me that is just going to come out regardless, I want you to assume that it was your clairvoyance abilities, okay? I don't want you to psych yourself out, all right? Because you have a tendency to psych yourself out. So stop psyching yourself out, sweetheart. So I'm going to tell you that, yes, your abilities. Let's go with that one. Monique, but I felt the way you explained about being afraid even though he's my brother. The thing is, we feel this fear when we are unaware, when we are unknowing, when we have not experienced it. It's literally, fear comes from the unknown, right? Just think about it. You fear the future because you don't know what's going to happen, so it makes you prepare for today. You fear the past, so you don't want to repeat it, right? So again, fearing the future because unknown, right? So don't worry, my sweetheart. Stay in this group a little bit longer and you'll find that there's nothing to be scared of. You literally just gain in power and you're pretty much good to go. Oh, Virgin, I smelled a lot of cinnamon and was sleeping and talked to my sister about a cake I don't bake. Oh, bless you. This is it. You know when your gustance, you know, your taste and your scent comes in and everything. It's really, really cool. Lip up. Oh, bless him. He'll watch, because he's got this thing with growing. He grows like herbs, fruits, and this and that, right? And he'll watch other like tropical fruit videos because he uses his ability, his gustance, and his smell to literally, when he focuses on that individual, he can taste what they're tasting. And I'm like, that is so freaking cool. Oh, so that's awesome. Jessica, was right after my mediumship went full force, and wow, it was a ride. Most things from I perceived to be astral realm and higher dimensions came to talk about everything, had a lot to say about gold and perceptions of the beginning, each one taught me something. That's so cool though, right? You know, you can't, I don't want to, if an entity is just coming from you, you always listen to your heart, because your heart's going to tell them, like, don't trust this, or this is truth, or this is not, right? But still, learn and observe from absolutely every experience you have, because everything leads to a clue. I tell you this much. Every little thing is a breadcrumb trail to something that will lead your mind to expand. It's beautiful. Monique, but now I'm ready for all spirits to come. Yeah, good spirits. Hey, you know, Monique, you want to go for everything, right? It's not that I'm saying that I don't want bad spirits, or there's no bad spirits, there's only entities. Your spirit, or a spirit, is one of source of creation, which is pure love. So a spirit is always going to be very good for you. But there's no bad spirits, but there are bad entities. But I'm like, you know what? Bring them on, right? Bring them on. Bring them on so that you can see just how easy it is to vanquish them and burn them into a crisp. And then you get this weird childlike fun of hunting. So that literally any negative entity that comes to you, you got this. And it's just a matter of like, I'm just going to burn you right off. Okay. Prove. Wonderful. Now, we have Jasmine Howland. You have requested to join our broadcast, so please come on in, my dear. We are on What is the coolest experience you've done so far during the awakening process? So if you'd like to come on board and talk to us, then please do. All right, so you're welcome. Okay. Charmaine. Hello, Charmaine, my sweetheart. Would love to know my life prayer. Well, Charmaine, that is down for question number 8. So come on back when we're there. Jasmine, hello, my sweetheart. How are you? We got you there, my dear. Oh, wait, we don't have your sound on there, my dear. Oh, there we go. Okay, my sweetheart. Would you like to answer the question for us, dear? Okay, so what is the coolest experience you've had so far during this awakening process? Oh, my sweetheart, are you answering? I can't really hear you. Okay, my dear. I'm gonna open this up for another individual. When you're ready to come on board, and if we can get some sound there, then you can come on board. I'm sorry, sweetie, or please type the question for us, okay? All righty. Sorry about that, Jasmine. We gotta keep moving. We gotta keep moving. So when you're come back on, then that's totally cool. All righty. Ness, it's Dave. Am I okay to inbox you? Yeah, you are okay to inbox me, but I'm just letting you know, Dave, I have like a super long, right? So it's gonna be a while for me to get back to you if I can. Anybody, the best way to get a hold of me is to literally post either directly on my profile or into the group so I can see it a little bit easier and faster if it's urgent as well. Virgin, you say, Ness, my son-in-law's cousin passed and saw him and felt him. I was scared. Oh, bless you, sweetheart. This is the thing. We're going to have so many individuals, especially in this group, that your eye is just going to explode with activity. And you're literally going to, we've literally got to see a lot of things coming on board, right? But bless you, don't worry. There's nothing to be worried about. Christine, messages through automatic writing. Oh, yes. Yes, when that happens, it's amazing, right? The things that come through, and sometimes it can be a little bit scary, but, you know, we'll make it work. Okay. So I'm gonna read a couple more, and then we're going to go on to question number 2. Jasmine say, do you what it's like to be a girl? I'm ready to talk. I am shy. Oh, bless you, Jasmine. Don't worry, sweetheart. Well, you know what we'll do, Jasmine, is we will get you back on. I'm gonna get a couple more questions, and then we'll get you back on. Okay, sweetheart? Okay. So let's have a look here. So we've got Dennis. My son passed away. I started getting these feelings. I was being watched all the time, and it wasn't scared of. It took me a while to realize it was him. Yeah, this is it. When we start to feel the presence of another individual, it can be very jarring at first. It really can. But again, when you get used to it and you're just like, hey, I think what more people need to start doing, and which will happen as we are going through this process, is speaking to those who have passed like you normally would, right? Because we have to remember, if they are a source fractal, they will pass and they will be right there. So basically what will happen is they're right there. Speak to them as you normally would. That's it. And they'll speak right back to you, right? It's beautiful. Jasmine, give me just 1 second, my sweetheart. Jessica, the symbols you speak of led me to find a past life in Lemuria and during a transition of ages at another stage of the earth evolving. We are in a cycle. These patterns come all the time. We are switching from the third dimension to the fourth dimension, but guess what? In a few years, the third dimension to the fifth dimension, but the fifth dimension is also going to be removed. Right, in just a few more years, so probably about a decade or so after this harvest period is finished, the fifth dimension will go, and we will continually do that, right? So this is why it's best to like raise your frequency up to the highest dimensions you can, because in approximately 17 years, in 17 years or so, most people will be born within frequency 11, physical frequency 11, right? So there we go. Okay, so let us, so sorry, we're going to get Jasmine back on here. Okay, so Jasmine, let's get you back on here again. And, you can be the last one to answer question number 1 before we go on to question number 2 as well. So, and just everybody preparing, question number 2 is, what is the funniest thing your spirit guide has said to you? But we will, we'll get that prepared as well. So Jasmine, my sweetheart, we are just waiting for you right now. There we are. Jasmine, my dear. Are you there, my sweetheart? Okay, please take it away. What is your answer? What is the coolest thing you have experienced so far? It's okay, sweetheart. If you're a bit shy, that's okay.
Do you know what it's like to be a girl?
Do I know what it's like to be a girl? Yes, I do, sweetheart. I think it's quite, well, it's interesting at best. It's interesting, it's magical, it's wonderful, and I do enjoy it. It's a different experience from being a boy or being a man. But do you have anything to share with us about your coolest awakening experience so far?
No.
No? Okay. Well, no worries then, Jasmine, my sweetheart. We're going to move on to question number 2 then. And what I want you to do is, if you'd like to answer that one, you can kind of think about your answer first and then come on board. But so far, we're gonna move on to question number 2. Okay, sweetheart? Alrighty. Thank you, sweetie. Take care. All right. Thank you ever so much, Jasmine. I'm sorry we're kind of trying to stay a little bit on topic for today, but don't worry. I understand you're a little bit shy, but you're going to be okay. So if you want, you can stay in the comments, or we can request again. Don't worry, sweetie. Okay, so Jasmine. Oh, bless you, Jonathan. No worries, sweetie. So that is question number 2. what is the funniest thing your spirit guide has said to you? All right. So let's have a look here. I want you guys to tell me what is the funniest thing your spirit guide has said to you. All right. And we're going to go down, down. Oh, bless you. Okay. So what I'm saying as well, sorry, Laura, you say, I still haven't heard my spirit guides, I think. Don't worry. If you haven't heard them in terms of hearing them, that is okay. All right. What I want you to think of is, what is the funniest communication that your spirit guide has said to you, or has communicated with you? Perhaps, Jasmine, sweetheart, yes, we can do the request again, but what I want you to do is I want you to think about your answers a little bit first. There's nothing wrong in having surgery, is there? So you're having surgery, sweetheart. Oh, are you in recovery? Okay. Jasmine, my sweetheart, what we're going to do is let's get a little bit of, sorry, I just had a little bit of information there. So Jasmine, sweetheart, what we want to do is we want to get a few more questions, and I want you to kind of really prepare your answer, and then we can go for it again if you like. Okay, sweetie. So let's have a look here. Virgin, I haven't had a spirit guide talk to me. Don't worry, don't worry. Again, we don't have to wait about the talking though. That's absolutely fine. We don't have to go with the talking. The communication. I think, what is the funniest thing my spirit guide has said to me, or that I have said? You know what? To be honest with you, I had an incredibly funny, it wasn't even my spirit, it was my son's spirit, because I was helping him write his resume. But, okay, that was a little bit rude. I don't even know if I want to say that just yet. Jessica, funniest thing was yesterday my youngest daughter was talking to Luke Halst, and my daughter said Luke Halst was very nice to her, but not her sissy, but she could have hugs and kisses, and Amishol just started laughing uncontrollably. Oh, I love it. Love to see here. Oh, that's wonderful. Sorry, I just had to reread that again. Jasmine, yes, please, if you want to read through. Jasmine, my sweetheart, I want to be like totally with an understanding. I want to give as many people the opportunity to speak as we can. Okay, so we're going to wait just a little bit. I want to get a little bit more conversation going, just so we can learn a little bit more, and then we can bring you back on camera, sweetheart. Okay, but I just want you to know though, my dear, this is not a readings kind of time, all right? So we're not doing readings, but if you want to answer the questions, then we're all up for it, sweetie. Monique, Jasmine, you may want to make a post in the group in regards to what you're going through. Yes, please. Thank you ever so much, Monique. That is a wonderful suggestion there if you are going through any sort of, well, heartache, you know, or recovery, or we can also give you some healing as well, sweetie. That is absolutely fine. Thank you, Monique. What a wonderful suggestion. Okay, so let's have a look here. Jessica, her sissy was identified as an entity. Ah, yes, very good. Okay, funniest things. There's been a few really funny things that have happened, but okay, I'm going to tell you recently what happened. So I was helping my son to write his resume, right? And, because of course he's 15 years old, he's never had a job before and everything. So in the terms of, experience, it was like, okay, we have no experience. Oh, no, sorry, no, during school, it was, sorry, not experience, it was during the part where we were going through school, you know, because he's only in grade 10, right? So we were just like, well, you know, I don't have very much experience, and, oh, what was life like before the days of, now my son was saying before the days of the internet, right? But his spirit, his spirit was just like, oh, what childhood was like before the days of Pornhub. And I'm like, oh my gosh. That was very funny at the time. I tell you, it was absolutely hilarious at the time. But anyway, okay, moving on. So if we haven't had enough communication to learn the funniest thing your spirit guides have said to do, don't worry. There is going to be plenty of incredibly hilarious things your spirit guide is going to tell you. Lol, go get your crown. That was first and last time I had a voice. Yes, her Rodalie is probably just like, get your crown. This is the only thing I'm communicating with you through this way. Oh, I love it. Bless her. Okay, so what do we have here there? We are going to, let's move on then. So number 3, how far have you gone following the messages of the universe? Right? How far have you gone following the messages of the universe? Jasmine, you say, so we talk now? If you would like a more of a, I won't be talking right now just because we're doing this live, but if you do make a post in the group, then by all means, any of the wonderful group members as well who are available right now can, and if they are drawn to you, they can actually give you a shout right now, right? So yeah, don't worry. If you want to talk to me specifically, Jasmine, then now is not the best time if you wanted to go through some issues and so forth, but you can either send me, I want to say send me a message, however, it will take me a little bit of time to actually get through to you. So if you make a post on the group there, Jasmine, and just tag my name in it, then once I'm finished, then we can have a look and see about getting you some help, my sweetheart. Sarah, moving my family 4 hours away. Oh, so, Onala, when you were literally making this move recently, that is literally what happened, eh? Like your spirit was the one that said, let's move to this place, let's move over. That's freaking amazing. That's wonderful. I find that sometimes to follow the universe, you get some trippy things asked of you. You really do. I literally, one of the things that I followed that put me into such a place of anxiety when I was in the lower frequencies was literally when my spirit told me, quit work, quit your entire business, shut it down, give it away. It was terrifying for me to go from having a successful business to all of a sudden, I mean literally, there was a lady who was apprenticing under me, and she came in and she worked part-time with me and so forth while I was teaching her all the tricks of the trade. And literally, I just came to her one day and I said, hey, by the end of this week, I'm closing this business. Do you want it? Otherwise, I'm just going to inform all of my clients that I'm no longer available. And it was just like that. And trust me, doing that and then being, because my God was just like, don't worry about finances. Don't worry about anything. You have enough power. I will always take care of you. And so I did. And I tripped out for so long, for months. Well, for about 6 to 8 weeks anyway. I was literally in a hard state of anxiety because I did not know what was going to come to come into the future. And I was so worried. However, all the while I was worrying, I kept following the instruction, and every single time money was required, it showed up. And so I spent a couple months there worrying for absolutely no reason. But that was one of the biggest things that had happened to me, or like one of the things that scared me the most when I was in the lower frequency. Now I follow my heart and I'm like, I don't give a crap, because whatever my heart tells me to do, I'll do it because I know it will lead to the betterment of my life and my future. So, Dennis, you say, I was playing with my dogs and thinking how dogs haven't made, especially when they have a good master, and then all of a sudden I hear in my head, you won't shake somebody's hand because you don't want to touch him, but you're willing to sniff butts. I almost said yes. I love it. Yeah, you know what, Dennis, I like your spirit. I like your spirit. I'm just saying that. Jessica, you say, trusting in the process of a manifestation that came to fruition, seeing also a reflection through each action how my thoughts and emotions play into how the manifestation has been unraveling, with options for timeline changes and excess energy wishes. Right? It's so amazing. It's so amazing that when you literally follow your heart's desire, right? And I mean, what you want in life, what your heart says feels good, you will literally have if only you follow it in that moment, right? But the thing is, you can't just follow it in a way in terms of, oh, for example, I want this manifestation, right? But I'm going to think about it over and over and over again in order to get it. Like, no. You have to follow your heart's wants, desires, and needs every single moment of the day. You have to make proper decisions every moment. So if you want a life of health, wealth, happiness, and abundance, then when your heart says, I don't want to be at work today, follow it. Because it's that decision to follow your heart in that moment that will lead you to health, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Right? The littlest decisions. If your heart says no, don't use that hairspray. Right? That decision, that's an important decision. Don't use that hairspray. Because they know the chemical compounds in that spray, and when you apply it to your skin, they know what it's doing to your body. Right? So this is what I'm saying. Every decision, you follow your heart and you'll see wonderful things. Dennis, she likes to think she's funny. Oh, no. She knows she's funny. She knows she's funny. She knows she's quick-witted. And she knows how to touch your buttons. And I love your spirit. She's sweet. Oh, bless you guys. Okay, that is brilliant. Now, let's move on. Unless we have anybody else who wants to share how far they've had to go following the messages of the universe. And please do remember, if you would like to come on camera, just send me an invite and to answer one of these questions going through too. So, we're going to go on to question number 4, which is, Onala, it's an amazing thing. It really, really is. It is so amazing. SLMCV? Walid, I'm sorry, I need more context to that, as I have no clue what that means. Jessica, it's taught me how to better observe and practice positive thinking, actually listening to Amish Toll for living the lessons of not and controlling emotions. Yes. Oh, when you realize, Jessica, like, isn't it crazy? And I'm sure this is for a lot of people out there too. But when you actually start listening to your guide and you listen to your heart, isn't it crazy how you realize just how astray your thoughts were going before? Like, just how negative the thought cycle was before. And you're like, holy crap, I have been manifesting this negativity in my life for my entire life. It all makes bloody sense now. I'm now just going to choose to think differently and manifest all the good shit in my life. It's brilliant. Walid, you have, I think that is your cell phone number or your mobile number, or it is a number of some sort. I probably would not post that, to be honest. Not that I think anybody in this group is going to do anything with the number, like, but I'm just saying, you may not want to, like, throw your details out there so quickly. It is the internet. Right. So, let's have a look here. So, Onala, yes, my twin is still this way. Give me a little bit more context on that, sweetheart. So, again, what piece of information did you learn that blew your mind? All right? What information did you learn that blew your mind? And we've got a bit more. Virgin, I've been loving and caring. I am surprised. You've surprised your family. Oh, are these the changes? Oh, bless you. So, is this how far you've gone following the universe? Virgin, because that's wonderful. If that is what your heart is doing, is just being like, I'm going to be more loving, caring, and compassionate, then follow it. Let your family be surprised and let them raise their frequency because of your love, care, and compassion. It's beautiful. Jessica, yes, it's a hard lesson, but one worth having, and realizing the power you have is when the fun starts. I tell you, realizing the power that you have, not only does the fun start at Mishtal, life starts. Life starts. And life is beautiful. It is. When you can understand the lessons in each hardship that you go through. And when you can look at each hardship and just be like, what am I going to learn from this? How am I going to grow from this? What move am I going to make next? You start to live. And life is good. Life is good when you're living it. That's what I'm telling you, my sweetheart. Oh, Onala, you say your twin's negative thinking. Oh, yeah. That could be hard. That could be hard for sure. But you're going to be good. Oh, Monique, may I come on and explain something too long to type? Of course, of course. Of course. Monique, what I want you to do is, please, Monique, when you make a request, and I'll approve the request and come on board. All right? I'll approve the request and come on board. So hopefully this is for number 4. So what piece of information did you learn that blew your mind? I'm going to... Samantha, you say, how do we know out our twin? Oh, how do you know about your twin? We are going to get back to that one, my sweetheart. Samantha, how do we know about our twin?
Hi. Sorry, it's late. Hi. So I wanted to explain this experience that happened so far as I can remember once, and I want to know if it'll ever happen to, more and more extensively. But when I gave someone a hug, I felt like I read their whole DNA, like I felt them. Like, in Avatar when they connect their hair or something with the tail of their animal, and they sync, and then it was like that. Like when I touched that person, I felt their whole energy and can read their whole energy. And I was just wondering, like, if that's a thing and if it'll, like, expand.
And by the way, I would love it for all members. If you felt the same thing, please comment and let us know. Because I don't know if you guys can hear. This is perfectly normal. This is perfectly normal. I'm so sorry. This echo is driving me crazy.
I didn't hear an echo.
Okay. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, you sound fine to me, at least.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. This has been driving me crazy. Anywho, sweetheart, this is perfectly normal and for sharing that experience because so many people are going through it where they're like, this is you literally have like, oh my God. Now, don't get me wrong, that experience feels so in depth that you are literally hooked up to another individual. That has to test of how powerful you are. Because not everybody will have an intense experience. But you definitely had that experience. And I know there's other people that have had that experience too. But it's going to go a lot deeper though. So I don't want you to think that this is the pinnacle of your empathy and your sentience. Because as you develop to go with it, you incorporate that as well. So for example, if I wanted to hug somebody and connect, I could hug them and literally place myself in their energy and live. I could hug, depending on what we're focused on, I could hug them and know what's going on with their body in terms of like where and so forth. I'm a healer. Right? No, that's wonderful.
That makes sense because I felt like if I stayed attached longer, that probably would have happened. Like, but I immediately like detached because I was like, whoa.
More. Embrace the feeling and see what's happening. Right? Don't push away too fast. It's beautiful. Has that only happened once?
Just once, and as far as I know, I can remember, it only happened once. But now I'm starting to try to pay more attention to it. And I'm trying to, trying to see how far my gifts that we all have, that I'm just starting to come up with. I'm trying to see how far they will go, because my goal is to help everyone. Like, and you, before your other video, you said, what jobs did you have? And mine have always been in customer service, and that's all I'm into, is servicing people. So I'm just, now I tell my guys, I'm ready, come please help me. Like, I'm ready to, channel and help people and heal people, because I love it when someone is in need and I talk to them and they feel so much better and they can go on with their lives. I love helping suicidal people. Love it. A lot of people come with me with troubles of suicide, and I'll try to talk them out of it. And now it also explains, everyone goes through certain things in their life, and it's all for a purpose. And I know everything that I went through was to help everyone that I've helped so far and for the future. So it helps to relate to a lot of people, because then they'll listen to you. Because people may not tend to trust you as much if you don't understand what they went through. So
yeah. Gosh. I'm sorry. I'm going one time to get this blasted ball.
Sorry, my voice is also very, very soft, and I heard that my guys' voice are just as soft. So. I'll try to talk louder.
It's literally the echo. I'm sorry. Yes, everybody can understand what I'm saying right now. I'm so sorry. Okay. So you know what? I might have to
hang up. Yeah, I can hang up, and then you can, and I'll just finish listening.
Yeah. Sorry.
But I just wanted to. It was just too much to type. Thank you.
I am so sorry about that, you guys. Thank you so much, Monique, for coming on and sharing that. And I'm really, really, really sorry that you couldn't hear me. The stupid echo. Phones. But anyway, thank you. What Monique was saying, an individual, the connection was so intense and so strong, like she became that individual for that time, or knowing their energy and whether that was normal and how far she could take it. Now, and I'm like, thank you ever so much. Again, thank you so much, Monique. And yes, that's better. Okay, good. If that's what's going to happen when I bring people on, I may have to keep everybody in the comments today. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why that's doing that. But maybe we'll try again later and see if it works. But so yes, explaining this to Monique though, or to everybody, your empathic abilities, they are going to heighten. All of your abilities are going to heighten. Now, Monique, you asked during this time, how far can this go? My dear, it is limitless. One of the things that you can do, and I want you to think, does she conjure? No. Your empathy, all right? Your empathy can go so far. It is energy manipulation. I want you to think about that, all right? Energy manipulation is what empathy is. Not only are you feeling the energy of that other individual, but then when you are in control of your own emotions, you then, of course, transmit your energy back, thus manipulating another individual's energy. When you get that down packed, I'm going to let you explore. I'm going to let your mind just go, whoa. Really think about what you can do with that. You know, you have like the Star Wars movies, Jedi mind tricks and everything like that. Maybe you want to have a look at some old Star Wars. I'm going to point you in the right direction. So Samantha, you said, how do we know it's our twin? Well, to be honest, Samantha, there's a very, very special bond within twin flames. They literally trigger your solar plexus to a very, very deep feeling as well. Now, it is a feeling that you do have to be aware of. If you want to identify them yourself without using any cognizance or any other abilities, you can just simply feel the energy, or without using a pendulum or anything like that. But a twin will literally trigger an intense need to be with this individual. And it is a deep feeling right in the pit or core of your solar plexus, and it churns, all right? It generates a lot of energy when you are with each other. However, again, it can be a little bit difficult. So what I'm going to suggest is that, of course, we all raise our frequency so we can really identify what that feeling is. Otherwise, you can ask your pendulum. There's always the easy way too. Oh gosh, yes, you guys. I'm so sorry that that everybody couldn't understand me for a moment there. Virgin, you say, I did that. I felt goosebumps and saw that person going on a trip, and she did. Wow, right though? Isn't this so cool when our abilities activate? It's awesome. Jessica, what blew my mind is the varied perspectives of very old spirits on how to maintain balance in universal energy and universal law, and efforts to make galactic level changes, kind of like butterfly effect game of chess, almost like an administrator of a game, essentially hacking the mainframe of the matrix itself. Right though? I'm like saying, you've got to literally be on point with your spirits. This is why I say meditation, right? Jessica, I'm sure that was a great point, right? That's wonderful. Like, in terms of what can blow your mind, when you can see your reality for the game that it is, and when you can understand your energy is your focus. Oh, the things that happen from that point onwards. So that is amazing. Beta, you say the echo was terrible. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Okay, I'm glad we're back though. Oh, Jessica, and realizing how to play the game, who you are, and learning the rule book, right? And then playing this damn game at the same time. I love it. Energy manipulation is extremely helpful. That it is. Dennis, okay, so this is the piece of information that blew your mind. The death of our bodies is not the end, but a new beginning in existence. Right? Or a continuation of our development, of our energy, right? Oh, I think the information that blew my mind was when I discovered my cognizance. When I literally discovered and proved to myself that the ethereal and spirits and everything were real. Because I literally had went through every process of disproving myself I could, but I could not. So my mind was thoroughly blown at that point. So I'm like, whoa. Now, what other information did I learn that blew my mind? I think this is one thing that is wonderful, because as you raise in frequency, literally as you raise in frequency, you will find that your mind will be blown continuously. One of the things that recently that just kind of, now I'm going to say it in its simplistic kind of way, but it kind of hit me really deeply, with the deeper meaning of it within its simplicity, but was when it is the realization of the acute way of playing this game, right? Your focus. Okay, so your game piece is your avatar, is yourself, right? That is your game piece. That houses all of your energy. So I want you to think of a chessboard, right? You are the king. That is your game piece. Oh no, the king is too restrictive. You're the queen, right? That's your game piece. You can move anywhere on the board. You can control a lot of things. Now, your spirit, you can call is your king piece, right? Because they have a lot of information and they help and so forth. And anyway, you know what? Let's not put a label on it. Because I'm like, oh, if we're looking at this in chess, That's a little bit more difficult. So anyway, so your body, your vessel is your game piece, right? Your guide, your spirit guide is really you. And when you access your game piece, when you gain control of your vessel, that's when you can start to play. And then when you realize your focus is how you play the game and how you navigate the game and what it is. So when you realize this, and then when you look at the world around you and you're like, anything you put your focus to, your attention on, will come into manifestation, right? It will come into manifestation, because that is literally the process of manifestation. You put your focus on it, it will come to fruition. And then it goes to show that there is so much war, there is so much poverty, there is so much hate, there is so much disease, there is so much lack of unity. And it is because that is where our minds are focused. All right? I was just speaking to Lit today, and because I was sent a video by an individual, and it was one about, you know, bringing awareness to police brutality and everything against, you know, melanated individuals, especially in America. And the thing is, I am also a melanated individual, but I refuse to share that. And the reason why I refuse to share those images, those videos, those anything to do with it, is because I know that people will then focus on it. And if they focus on it, it comes to fruition. We thought that there was a lot of police brutality before. Then it came into our focus. And then what did we see? A massive increase in police brutality. Oh, hello, this is Shayla Haskatomba. We saw a massive increase. So I'm just like, when you realize what your focus, what you put it on comes into fruition, it really makes you think, nah, I ain't going to focus on anything negative anymore. I ain't going to fall into the traps of what is being put and laid before me. Right? So it's crazy. So, Jessica, you say, still hanging on to traits of Copernicus, you are a little bit. And you are right also about when I took on Hermes consciousness and how that plays in. I'm needing to acquire a bit more information for the next level to prepare to play. I am happy. This is, I am not surprised either. I am not surprised. I could only imagine that your brain is literally working a million miles a minute, connecting every bit of information that you possibly can. As such, you are. You are an information gatherer and storer. You're brilliant, Amrishtal. I can't wait to see. Helen. Hi, Helen, sweetheart. Dennis. Yes, humidity, like to focus on the negative and brush the carpet, is under the rug. Yes, everybody likes to... sorry, what do you say? Humanity likes to focus on the negative and brush the carpet, brush it under the rug. Yeah. But we've all been trained to do this. We've all been trained to literally focus our attention on negativity. Focus our attention on negativity. But then, when it comes times to change that negativity, that's when it gets brushed under the rug. And while our focus is then taken to something else, so we can continue the cycle and pattern of negativity. But not anymore, not in this group anyway. In this group, we focus only on the positive, right? We are aware of the negativity, but we focus on the positive so we can change it, right? And evolve. Jessica, instant manifestation is so boss when you can do for others. It's like you said, you draw more energy from positive everything when doing for mankind. Right? Because this is what it is. This is how we work together as humanity. This is the status of evolution, right? We work together, we help others, and we get the energy returned back to us. Universe takes care of us when we take care of ourselves in the physical, right? And that's when it's beautiful, because the more people you help, or the more you complete your purpose, the more energy you get back in, and you use that energy for whatever you want. At the moment, I'm using it to repair my body, regain my youth, and take my body back to the way it was when it was 23 years old. Banging, by the way. So I'm like, yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So let's move on. All right, Jasmine. Can we talk now? Jasmine, I'm more than happy to bring you back on camera. However, we're going to stay focused on the exact question. Now, the next question that we're going to go for is, if stranded on a desert island, what 3 items would you bring and why? Okay? So, Jasmine, if you are ready to answer that question, if stranded on a desert island, what 3 items would you bring and why? Okay? If you can answer that question for us, we'll bring you on. However, Jasmine, my sweetheart, if you are looking for a reading, or if you're looking for healing, or just general conversation, I'm going to ask that you post on the group, okay, sweetheart? So if you can just let me know if you're ready. That's all I need to know, sweetie. Now, if you were stranded on a desert island, what are the 3 items you would bring and why? And I want you guys all to think, okay? You have the abilities that you have now. You have the abilities that you have now. What 3 items would you bring to this desert island? All right. So, Jasmine, you're up first, okay? Everybody is well. Whilst we are hearing Jasmine's response, have a think and you can have a look there. So, Jasmine, okay, sweetheart, you are back with us. So tell us, my dear, what are 3 items you would bring on a desert island and why?
Water.
Yep.
Probably food.
Right?
Um, um, probably a hat if it gets hot.
That's fair. So, those are your 3 things there, Jasmine. You've got water, you've got food, and you've got a hat. Okay, so why are you bringing these things? Out of all things, why are you bringing these things?
That way I could survive if it gets hot in the desert.
Well, that's true. That's true. Well, mind you, I did say a desert island, but probably should have said a deserted island. But bless. Okay, that's wonderful. And how long would you what would you do with these though? Of course you would survive, but you have your water, you have your food, you have your hat. Then what would you do?
I don't know.
No? No worries. Well, let's see here. What would everybody else do? So we've got Tessa, you say hello, just joined from NZ. I'm thinking, is that New Zealand? I'm really bad with geography. Neville, 3 items, a gun, bullets, and a knife in my mouth, for survival. Oh, sorry, Nigel, sorry about that. Um, I'm not sure if I would take that, but let's have a look here though. Anything else that you would like to let us know that you would bring though, Jasmine? We'll get to a little bit more from you first.
No.
No? Okay, no worries. All right, Jasmine. What we're gonna do is we're gonna let anybody else come on because we don't have an echo anymore, so that's wonderful. So we're gonna let some other individuals. If you are ready to come on board as well, and let us know exactly what you would choose, and I'll tell you what I would choose as well. Thank you ever so much, Jasmine. We'll come
Okay,
on.
thank you so much.
Thank you, sweetheart. Wonderful. Thank you ever so much, Jasmine. Food, water, and a hat. Simple things. I like it. Um, Dennis, 3 genies, then I'll just wish for whatever I want. Dennis, I like your style. Um, Charles Robinson Crusoe book for inspiration. There you go. 3 items: a gun, bullets, and a knife in my mouth for survival. Ah, you know what I think I would take? I don't know about a gun or bullets and a knife. That seems like a lot of energy you're going to be putting out there, my dear. I think what I would bring on a deserted island, I would bring a little bit of coconut oil. Or on a desert island, I would bring some coconut oil because the sun, and I don't want to burn, but I want all my fresh vitamin D because I'd use that as sunscreen. I would bring an umbrella for some shade, and I think I'd bring all of my source fractals with me, because at the end of the day, if I was on a desert island, I'm there just for vacation, because literally I would fly out. I would use my Horions to literally go wherever I want afterwards. And I would literally sit there and have a wonderful day and then bugger off when I'm finished. That's what I would do. So let's have a look here. I know that you're probably like, that is such cheating, Kulipup. But I'm like, if I've got the ability to fly, I'm flying. I'm getting out. Tessa, you say, I would say a cond to hold water, seeds, something to start fires with, and yes, New Zealand. Oh, wonderful. Yes, everybody is like up for the survival, of course. Gina, my pendulum for sore. Yeah, right? Helen, I take you, of course. Problem solved. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, because I don't really eat food. If I did need food, I'd materialize it. If I needed shelter, I would materialize it. But otherwise, I'd just bugger off and fly somewhere else and be like, Helen, come on, let's go. Monique, 3 best friends, if you could get them. Nigel, if I can't bring the knife, is being more bullets. Fair enough. What about a phone, to phone home? Here's the thing though, Nigel. If you're a part of this group, it means that you're going to want to expand your mind and expand your abilities. If you're telepathic, what do you need a phone for? Right? To send your thoughts over there. Just think as well, whatever you would need a gun or bullets for, right? Let's say if you were protecting yourself from wild animals, literally, when you raise your energy to a point where your empathy is strong, you don't need to kill anything, because you are literally commanding the energy of that animal in the first place, right? So no need to kill it, right? Not only that, but you wouldn't need to kill it for food, because if you are powerful and so forth there, you actually manifest all of the nutrients you need in your body, right? That's what I do. That's why I don't eat very much, but yet I'm not skinny as a twig, because you manifest those nutrients, right? So it's kind of like, cool. Martin, toilet paper, whiskey, and Trident. Fair enough. Oh gosh, Trident, I like that. Jasmine, what about an adult diaper? Oh, I hope not. It wouldn't last very long. Nigel, I prefer double mint over Trident. I love it. Mike, if you get too many people, it's going to be like Lord of the Flies all over again. Oh, hope not. See, we gotta stop thinking of that, right? We gotta stop thinking of the negative stuff. We gotta start thinking of the positive stuff. We don't have to be, it doesn't have to be like Lord of the Flies. Because literally, when we activate our abilities, we're cool. Nigel, if I was telepathic, I'd just telepath myself to McDonald's to make an order. Or, well, mind you, if you could teleport, you could teleport yourself to McDonald's. Jasmine, why not an adult diaper? Well, because you would have to wash it out a little bit, I'm sure, my sweetheart. Because if you're on the desert island, if you only brought one, mind you, if it's reusable, that's okay. Martin, I'd make out with all of the natives, show them love. It's a well, mind you, no, it's a desert island. I didn't actually put down whether there would be natives on there. That is true. I'd make out with all the natives, show them love. Yes, and I'm sure you'd have a colossal amount of wives that you would then need to take care of. And then you would have to manifest so much more. I love it though. Wonderful. Would you do, so Nigel, you say, would you do it telepathically? Oh goodness. Let's keep it clean, guys. Let's keep it clean. So, the next one. Mike, desert or well, definitely not a desert island, that's for sure. And you'll find that the more you're around me, the more I don't care about spelling. Sorry, sweetie. we'll just let you decide which one you want to go. Either a desert island or a desert island for sure. Well, if I was on a desert island, I think I would literally bring a fork and a napkin. Oh, bless you. Jasmine, how many adult diapers do I need to go to a desert? I think it depends on how long you're planning to stay there, my sweetheart. I would not plan to stay there for very long. But if you wanted to stay there for a little longer, maybe you enjoy it, right? See how you need. Depends on if you have Taco Bell, honestly. Okay, so number six. Thank you ever so much, Martin and Nigel. You have some wonderful comments. That was wonderful. Oh. You're being a telepath with my cat right now, Nigel. Oh, what is she saying? Because I tell you, if anything, she is saying only things such as pet me, love me, turn off the phone, focus all of your attention on me, and then that's it. Susan, pen, paper, and music instruments would be well and happy, right? I would just take all of my source fractals and we'd have a freaking ball. That's wonderful. Okay. Next question. Let's move on to question number 6. Alrighty. If you could choose a hobby that right now seems out of reach, whether that be financially or time-wise, what would you take up and why? Or really, what I want to say with this one is, if you could choose something to do, all right, but if you could do that right now, and don't worry about money, don't worry about time, assuming none of this was a problem for you, right? You didn't get paid for it, nothing happened. What would you do and why? All right? So, again, if you could choose something to do, and it was out of reach right now, it could be anything in the world, what would you do and why? Mike, giraffe ranching. Right, well, that is very, very interesting, Mike. Why giraffes? Why would you go for giraffes specifically, right? And why would you want to ranch them? Martin, under the water basket weaving. Oh, underwater basket weaving, that's cool. Again, why? This is very, very interesting. I'm very intrigued. What about underwater basket weaving? That speaks so deeply to Martin. Jessica, studying the Amazon and pyramids. Jessica, of course you'd be studying. I'm not surprised whatsoever. Nigel, a Pokemon hunter. Wonderful. I suppose, hey, if it's fun. Laura, a cat whisperer. By the way, you know what, when it comes to cats, they are literally, or your animals, if you've made a very deep connection with your animal or your pet. So let's say if you have a very deep connection with your dog, I have a very deep connection with my cat. She is literally one of my friends. I don't own her whatsoever. She can leave whenever she wants to. But yeah, anywho, they become your information gatherers and they transfer information from the material to the ethereal for you, right? They become literally, they record your script. That you, like, you know, your world that you're creating and everything, they make a record of it and they transfer it to the ethereal. Isn't that cool? Mike, have you ever seen a giraffe ranch? I have not. I have not seen a giraffe ranch. I am not an individual, I will be very, very, very honest. I am not an individual that focuses my attention on the captivity of animals. Because again, I know if I focus my attention on that, it comes to fruition. So, and I don't want the captivity of any animal whatsoever, because I don't want the captivity of myself. So, so I have never seen a giraffe ranch in my life, but I'm guessing you're gonna tell me that it's very interesting in some way or another. So I'm looking forward to that. Tessa, traveling the world, meeting loads of people from all areas of life. Wonderful. Wonderful, Tessa. What would you do with the information once you have found all of these individuals? You know, meeting a lot of people, but what's your goal? Like, why? Why do we want to meet a lot of people? What would you do with the information? Chelsea, travel the world with my family. Wonderful. What would you want to experience? Right? Martin, I can hold my breath a long time. Fair enough. But weaving a basket specifically, like, where did the basket come from? I think that's great. Jasmine, you'd be an adult diaper, okay? Well, hopefully one that doesn't get used very well. Right? Beta, you say open free roam dog shelter and take abandoned and abused dogs in and give them give them a loving home. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's beautiful because they need it. Kevin, what if you don't know? That's okay. To be honest with you, Kevin, I think that if you are unsure of what you would want to do, then that's where you start looking inside yourself. Find your heart again, my sweetheart. Find your heart. And then you'll know exactly what you'd want to do in your spare time. Right? Hi, Iris. Arutless, I would just travel the world and do some photography. Beautiful, because again, you've got the vision. I love it. I love it. Mike, my cat knocks stuff off the counter. Yeah, so does this one. Martin, a cave weasel grower. Really, honestly, Martin, if you wanted to be a cave weasel grower, again, tell me why. Why would you ever want to grow weasels in a cave? Monique, yes, travel, wonderful. Laura, I have had 5 cats, or they have had me. Yeah, right. Well, they've been recording everything you've been doing. Jasmine, you'd be a girl's bikini. Okay. All right, that's a different one. All right. Jessica, being a part of a Doctors Without Borders, helping underprivileged countries' people and creating natural cures from plant life in the Amazon. Wonderful. And I believe you could totally do it too. It's amazing how you can see how you can do these things, how you can heal people with just the beauty of what is provided for you in nature. You don't need any pharmaceuticals. So, Amish Stoll, I hope you make that into fruition. Onala, making all different things with rocks and enjoying rock hunting. Awesome. I used to love doing the stacking of rocks. You know, when you go to the beach and you just like make those stacks. I used to love doing them. And I would literally go back to that beach and see if they were still standing. And if they were, I'd be like, ah, victory! Beautiful though. Mike, exactly. It would be a world first, but they would be free range, no fences. Ah, very good. But again, giraffes specifically. Sorry, I'm still on this. Tessa, learn and share. Excellent. Helen, I'd probably go and have a nose around in space for an hour or so and take some awesome pictures. Why the frick not? And I agree with you why it would only be an hour or two, because after a while you're like, okay, it's still pretty dark here. You know, there's not much to do anymore. And I want cake, because I know you want some cake too. So there would be free roam, okay. I might also hunt Sasquatch. I hear he hangs out in Portland. Ah, Nigel, if you would like to know that they are actually a species. Well, would we want to call Sasquatch? No. The creature called Bigfoot. Yes. One second. The creature known as, or around there. It is a species though, isn't it? Okay, so, sorry, what I'm doing here is just because you're like, you also want to hunt for Sasquatch. I hear he hangs out in Portland. That's what Nigel said. There is actually a species of, I'm going to say creature, okay? Because they are like, I don't want to say Bigfoot or I don't want to say the Sasquatch because they're not like that. It is a creature who is full of fur, who does walk upright. Yeah, they do walk upright, and they are quite large. However, they have been around for a very, 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 very long time. They are nomadic individuals, and they are very reclusive, okay? They're very, very reclusive. You have to kind of think. I definitely implore you not to hunt them. Don't hunt them. because they don't want to be found. They really don't want to be found. So I'm just going to say, let us respect their privacy. And I know you were probably thinking I was just joking, woman. Honestly, I was just joking. But I'm just like, for those of you who want to know, they are there. They actually are there. Dennis, learn to stare down a rock. Why? What would you do with the rock? Would you stare it down to connect your energy to have it levitate? Because that's what I'd do if I was staring it down. Martin, you say, well, they look like cats without teeth. They get the size of cows and are very loving. Is this for the giraffes? No, I'm sorry, I forgot that one. Onala, of course, took awesome pictures while rock hunting all over the world. That's lovely, though. So, when you're saying rock hunting, are you talking about like big, huge stones as well? You know, in fixtures and so forth, just beautiful, like big, massive cuts of granite, or just like the little ones. That's so nice, though. He lives in Kokomo. Oh, they're literally, if we're talking about the creatures that are, again, I can't say Sasquatch. Sorry, I can't say Sasquatch and I can't say Bigfoot, that's for sure. But very similar. Sorry about that, you guys. Sorry about that. I'm just getting calls here. Firos. Oh, hello, Firos, my love. John, you say I had a cave weasel once. Okay, cool. Better keep his game for my giraffes. That's the giraffe's #1 predator. Oh, you guys are cute. Okay. So, let's have a look here. So that is, if we could choose a hobby. Now, we've had a lot of hobbies. We have a lot of hobbies. Sorry, just Dennis, there she goes being funny again. She said, when I can stare down a rock, I can tell her what to do. I love your spirit. She's so cool. Tessa, you say, answering to meeting people from around the world. You asked what I would do. Yeah, exactly. Because remember, Tessa, the reason why I asked, what would you do? Is because we always find that as individuals, we collect a lot of information, but we don't do anything with it. Right? We don't do anything. So I'm like, what would you do? What are the kind of conversations would you have? What would you learn from these individuals that you come into contact with? And how would you apply it to your life? How would it better your life? Right? Always, when we think of when we are doing anything, if we have a purpose to it, how it will flourish, how we will grow. Right? So that's the reason for the question. John, how's the best way to trade a cave weasel? I should think just letting a cave weasel be a cave weasel. Oh, bless you. Okay. So, let's have a look here. Sarah O'Nally, you say all different sized rocks, whatever. Is that eye-catching? Beautiful. I am beautiful. Sorry, that is beautiful. Bless you. Okay. So, let's have a look here at question number, and sorry, by the way, just before I move on from question number 6, which is, of course, choose a hobby. Now, for all of those of you who commented with your hobby, whether it be serious or whether it be just for fun, but especially if you commented in a serious way, I want you to think, what's stopping you from doing that right now? And yes, I know you may say, well, money or time. But if that is what you would want to do, if that is where your heart's desire would be if you didn't have money or finances, just think of what you could do if you just did it. What would happen? What opportunities, what doors would be open to you if you would literally explore it? Tessa, you say to travel the world and talk to people. Well, why don't you travel your city or your town or wherever you are? Why don't you travel that and just talk to people? Just talk to them. Do it now. It wouldn't cost you anything. Right? See what kind of conversations you have. See what kind of things you experience, right? Do that. It would be wonderful. Now, that was just for Tessa, of course. That was just for Tessa, but anybody, again, whatever you've decided. And I'll tell you what I would be doing if I didn't have if money wasn't an issue and if time wasn't an issue, I would be doing exactly what I'm doing right now. I would be teaching. I would be communicating with you, and I'd be engaging with you. Because that's what I love to do, right? And I tell you, as soon as I started doing it, life became a hell of a lot more interesting and a hell of a lot more beautiful. So I'm going to encourage you to do that. Oh, Monique, you say, Ness, did your guide say something about my contract? Sorry, I heard you ask that. No, I don't believe I did, or my mind went somewhere else for that time being. So I'm ever so sorry. I have no clue. I can tell you the whistle goes not work. Speaking from a friend's experience, of course. Oh, sorry, John, you say, I can tell you the whistle goes not work. Are you saying that the whistle goes in terms of you go home, but the work always remains? Because if that's how I'm interpreting that, it's the truth. It's the truth. You will continually, always, whenever you are choosing what you want to do based off of finances or time, and when you are restricting yourself because of this, you will find, just as John said, you can clock out, but there will always be that work tomorrow. And there will always be another reason for you to not fulfill what is in your heart's desire. So we got to break these patterns. We have to break these patterns. And I know it's crazy. And I know it's like, is she serious? But I seriously say this. If you follow your heart's desire, doesn't matter how crazy it feels, doesn't matter how nonsensical it may sound, or unrealistic, or just idealistic, like, it doesn't matter. You follow that good feeling in your heart, it's going to come right back to you. Right? It will come right back to you. You will only have a pleasant experience when you follow that. We only have shitty experiences when we don't. When we do things out of duress. When we do things out of the way we believe it to be. Right? So, shoot. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can get caught up on these. I feel like I've lost a lot here. Okay, let's go down. Helen, you said, I'd have to get a specially made spacesuit because I'm only kid size. To be honest with you, I think if you're going into space, yes, in your physical body, I think you'd have to have a specially made spacesuit anyway. So I think you're okay with that. Oh, bless you. Okay, so I do rock hunt, take awesome pictures, just not now, way too cold to go rock. Agreed. I'm not monkey-shaped things. That is very, very true, Helen. Nigel, well, the Russians have dog suits, or of that would work. No, let's keep it respectful here, though, my sweethearts. And I know you're just joking, but still, let's keep it respectful. So let us move on. Okay. Number 7. The apocalypse is coming. Alright? Or the apocalypse. Well, the apocalypse is actually here, and we're currently going through it right now. But anyway, we'll say the apocalypse is coming, and the world is full of zombies. Who are 3 people, apart from your family? We're going to assume that your family is completely safe. You got separated, they're in another city or another part of the world, and it's just you when this is hit. Your family is perfectly safe. So we're not going to say, oh, I'd bring my family. So you now have 3 people. 3 people that you can pick. Who would you pick to go on your quest and survive this apocalypse? So who would you pick? All right. Who are the 3 people I would pick? Assuming my family, I have to assume that Kulipup is away and he's not around. Because of course I'd pick Kulipup because, you know, we generate so much power together, and we'd be like, I got this. 3 people apart from my family I would pick. I would have to say I would pick Lukaust. I would have to say I would pick Lukaust. because if my healing capabilities are not working, we've got another one right there, right? So we can heal everybody as we're going. Another individual I would pick. Oh, this is difficult. This is difficult because I'm a recluse and I never like ever go anywhere or meet people. Let's you know what, I'm gonna save that. I've got Luke Houst with me, so I want to hear what you guys said. I take all my animals on my quest. Yes, but you have to pick 3 people though. They have to be people. You can't pick, animals will follow you anyway. 3 people. Mike, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, and The Undertaker. Okay, why would we take Hulk Hogan? Sorry, I just have to ask, why would we take Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man, and The Undertaker? Okay? Why would we take them? Tessa, Bruce Lee, Robin Hood, and Wonder Woman. I like that. Okay, why would we take Bruce Lee, Robin Hood, and Wonder Woman? Martin, Joey the Crooked Nose, a seamstress, and Dustin Diamond. Okay, I don't have no clue who Dustin Diamond is. I don't even know who any of these people are. The 3 people that I could afford to take me. Okay, fair enough. Dennis, my spirit guide, my soulmate, is one of my 3 genies. Totally would agree. Mike, because they are all excellent giraffe riders. Fair enough. I'm going back here. Because the people that I would definitely take, they were already safe over there, right? So I'm like, sugar plums, I can't do that. Okay, I would definitely take Luke Houst. That is for sure. I would have literally the power of the universe behind me, so that kind of solves a lot of things right there. But Luke Houst for sure. I think I would have to take I'd have to take an individual who is very quick-witted, sharp, and very funny, just for, of course, some lovely comic relief, and to go around and brighten our day. And so I can be sarcastic and fun. Who is my 3rd person? I don't know. Because literally, this is it. When you realize you have the power of the universe and you can wield it, it doesn't matter if you're in a zombie apocalypse. Because you're like, that's fine, that'll go over here. I'm just going to walk down. You know what? Domino. Domino from Deadpool 2. If you've ever seen that, if she was real, she would be somebody I would take. Because we would have a fantastic time. And then we would like literally just manipulate time and space, and it would be really cool. They would know how to beat feet and ride from the ranch when them zombies show up. Oh, that's fair. Oh gosh, this is hard. This is hard. Like, who is the last person I would bring? Who is the last person I would bring? Ah. Sorry, I have some of my guides that are like, I would bring my harem of source fractals. So I'm like, okay, perfect. John, power of the universe is He-Man. He has the power, but he still thinks he's He-Man. And he still walks around like half naked. Although I can appreciate that, because when you got a lot of power, you don't like a lot of clothes. A fighter, a good shot, and cool powers, and a nice outfit. I like that, Tessa. A fighter, a good shot, and cool powers, and a nice outfit. So basically, you could be yourself, is what you were saying here, Tessa. You could totally be yourself. No, that's wonderful. Okay. Question number 8. All right. Number 8. Do you want to know why you are a light worker? If yes, will you pursue it, and how? Now, I know I am posing this question as if I am saying I'm going to tell you if you are a light worker or not. Or it's like if you want to know why you are a light worker. But I'm not going to answer that, because that's the kind of teacher I am. But I want you to look beyond the question. So, do you want to know why you are a light worker? So that's just a yes or no question. If yes, if you do want to know why you are a light worker, will you pursue it? Will you pursue this question? Will you try to find the answer? And how? And how? What will you do? What will you do? Mike, light worker, I'm not an electrician. You are electricity, my dear. You may not be an electrician, but you are electricity. You are energy. Martin, I'm a light worker because I change light bulbs. Where? Where do you change light bulbs, my dear? Do you change light bulbs in the mind? Because then you're a light worker, for sure. Nigel, I know I'm a light worker. It's because I'm lazy. I don't like heavy work. Fair enough. Because it's true, though, when you are a light worker. You don't. Now, I know you're trying to make quick-witted remarks there, Nigel, but I can counter them with everything. So I'm like, bring it on. Alrighty. Chelsea, what is a light worker? Okay, a light worker, just for anybody who is unsure, a light worker is an individual who is literally a light being, okay? When you live in love and light, there's a few different ways that you can interpret this. When you live in love, love is the highest frequency that you can achieve. Now, love, if you are thinking of frequency, it is a vibration. The higher you vibrate, the more energy you produce. The more energy that comes together and vibrates produces light. Now, also, to vibrate at that high state of energy, you need to be light. You need to be light in your being. You need to be constantly on the frequency of love and light. So your thought process has to be with love, right? Now, if you are in the thought process of love, that means we are self-organizing, because the love frequency, right, or the love energy is also what self-organizes. For example, the earth, it's the entire planet and the flora and fauna that is within the earth, all the plants and animals, vibrate at the frequency of love. So this is, of course, how nature organizes itself. Everything works in tandem with each other. So if you are a light worker in this sense, it means that you are an individual who is living in love and light, who has a high vibrational frequency, and who is working within their purpose to, of course, assist the organization of the universe that is within love and light and its natural form and its natural being. So, for example, I am a light worker, and what my purpose is to teach, to guide. Sorry about that. So my purpose is to teach, is to guide, and is to heal individuals. Now, and I'm living in love and I'm living in light. So now when I'm healing an individual, they are then receiving my love and my light. All right, which then is a chain reaction that goes on, so that when that person sees another individual, my energy is going to go from them and they start living in love and light, and then they transfer their energy to another individual, and that brings them up as well. Right? So if you are a light worker, it literally means you are fulfilling your purpose. You are following what you are called to do, and you are helping to create the harmonious balance, equilibrium within the universe, bringing us back to balance, back to evolution, back to development, and getting out of this desolate state of crap that we have been living in for the last how many thousands of years through servitude, slavery, and of course making incredibly poor decisions. Right? So that is, sorry Chelsea, that was a long explanation, but that is what a light worker is. Okay, Laura, you says yes. I know that I am, and I have already started finding the answers. Quit my day job and everything. Fantastic. Fantastic. You're going to get more energy for it. Again, we got to get out of this damn system, which I'm going to talk about after question 9. John, I always work in the light. I hope so, in terms of the lightness of your heart and the lightness of your being. Right? Okay. Jessica, I'd like to do grid work, guide, healing, and well as much as possible. Excellent. Okay, so this is how you're going to pursue it, right? Yes, and I will. Wonderful. Some people call me light in the loafers. Fair enough. Oh, sorry, that was from Martin. Okay, so let's have a look here. Dennis, you say, absolutely, I want to know and pursue it. Otherwise, she's just going to keep telling me to stare at rocks. Yes, and that gets really boring after a while, doesn't it? Oh, beautiful. So, with that one, hello, Consuela, my sweetheart. John, rocks are great to talk to. I have one. I talk with it every day. Brilliant. I hope you have wonderful inner work conversations too. Whatever helps you through the process is wonderful because it will help you to live in love and light. Nigel, do you talk to hard rocks or soft rocks? I talk to all kinds of rocks, if that's a personal question. Is it wrong to glue googly eyes on a rock? No, of course not. Ioni, am I a light worker or not? Well, that is up for you to discover, right? Because I promise you, anybody who is questioning or wondering, am I a light worker? What is it I am here to do? I tell you, start living light. Start living in light and start living in love. And you will find exactly what you are seeking in that sense. You will find that the answer to that question that you have, right? Because I'll tell you this, any single individual who makes the decision to live in light and live in love and follow that positivity in their heart, you literally will be a light worker. But you got to make the decision and you got to make the intention to want to do so. Because when you do, like I say, life opens up to you. Life opens up to you. And this negativity that we live in now, that we've gotten so used to, the cycle of abuse that mankind has been in, because we're not humanity yet. The cycle of abuse that mankind has been living in has become so normal that we are numb to it. And living in nothing but pure love and the existence of harmony and peace seems so foreign. And so many people have no clue what it feels like to live in love. Have no clue what it feels like to wake up and truly be happy. To sing, to dance, just for the pure joy of it. Right? So many people don't know what that is like. So I'm saying to you now, make the decision. Sorry about that, you guys. So I'm saying to you now, make the decision in this now moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, not anything. Every decision that you make right now, make it with that love in your heart so that it can be returned back to you. Jessica, pyramids are rocks. How about you start there? Or Stonehenge and Easter Island. You may find rocks quite interesting. Right. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Amistral. Of course. Beautiful suggestion. I think that's wonderful. A rootless. Yes, I would like to pursue it at some point. I hope so. But a rootless, I want you to know that you are literally pursuing it now. As you are developing yourself, as you are making better decisions, you are experiencing it right now. Mike, sorry, let's have a look here. John, the inner light of a rock is to become part of a pyramid. I suppose, if you want to say it like that. Mike, does anyone know what it's like to fall down in the mud and get kicked in the head with an iron boot? Never mind, nobody does. To be honest with you, I'm sure that there are some people who do. If you are one of those individuals who's had that experience, that is not a nice experience to have. But it is one experience that you have had. So I suppose, mind you, I'd say tell us what it's like. Please do tell us what it's like, because I know it's not nice. That's for sure. But if you need to say it. Because it's only when we get these things out. Let's empathize. Because we don't want you to feel that way. That's what I'm getting from that comment there. Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you for the rock jokes. I thought they were hilarious. She's not amused, but it's an inside joke that if I'm not going to listen to her, I might as well stare at rocks. Right? Sorry, Dennis is talking about his spirit, by the way, who is cognizance, coming through to him through his cognizance. And I think that's wonderful. Jessica, I've had horrific experience such as what you've described, and it's hard to deal with. Happy to be an ear free. Thank you, Jessica. And again, it hurts my heart when, you know, the fractals that are around us have had to go through these experiences. But thank you, Jessica, for reaching out, though. You know? There you are, my sweetheart. Okay. Right. Let us move on. All right? Let us move on. Last question of tonight, and what I'm going to do is, I do have a little bit of information regarding the 4 horsemen. So I think, Jessica, Amistol, you may enjoy this because I know you're gathering so much information right now. But I've got a little bit of something on there, just a perspective to look at afterwards. But let's go with our last question. Number 9. If you are in a situation of fear, panic, doubt, or anxiety, what are the 3 steps you will take to bring your mind and focus back to the now and present moment? Jessica, you say, yes, 4 horsemen. Do you enjoy this topic? Well, not necessarily as a whole topic. I don't go too deep into it, but the overall pattern of what it is, yeah. It's interesting, but I want to tell you about that afterwards. So, if you're in a situation of fear, panic, doubt, and anxiety, what are the 3 steps you will take to bring your mind and focus back to the now moment? Okay, so let's have a look. Tessa, you say, find somewhere quiet, close my eyes, and just breathe. Okay, great. Right? Quietness, so silence. Shut out the world around you to hone your focus and breathe. Great steps there, my dear. John, stop, drop, and roll. John, I really want you to think about it, though. I really want you, I want you guys to really think. If you're in a state of fear, panic, doubt, or anxiety, now these states of fear, panic, doubt, and anxiety, they don't always come about in terms of, oh, there's a mountain lion right in front of me. So yes, I'm fearful, I'm panicking, I have doubt, and I'm anxious. I don't mean like that in terms of an immediate situation. What I mean is, we go through periods of fear, panic, doubt, and anxiety every single day of our lives, or so many people do, when we are in the lower frequencies, when we are healing, right? We have fear for our safety, for our survival, for our future, fear for our children. We panic if we don't have enough funds in the bank. We have doubt in ourselves constantly, so we seek opinions from other individuals, right? We have anxieties because we worry about the future, right? About what may happen, right? And we do this on a regular basis, day in and day out. So, when you are going through these, what is it that you are going to do to bring your mind back to focus in the now moment and in the present situation? Okay. Mike, fall down, assume fetal position, then cry. Oh, that's not nice. That makes me feel like, oh, I don't want you to be doing that each time. But I suppose if that's what you need to do to process the emotion at that time, then shit, do it. Do it, right? Do it, and do it fully, and do it wholly. Martin, I scream at my pets, lick a battery, and smell a skunk sticker. Oh, okay. Well, I suppose that will definitely shift your focus from the fear, panic, doubt, and anxiety. That's for sure. Susan, meditate. Use my heart and use pure light. Wonderful. Wonderful. I think that is definitely going to help you out for the long run. John, grab my rock, hide in a dark corner, and cry. You know what, though? At the end of the day, I'm actually happy to hear some guys say that they would cry. How many guys don't cry? How many guys do not allow themselves to release that emotion? And I think it's brilliant. So, John, Mike, if you guys would literally cry, if you'd find your own space and you do so, I definitely implore you to do that. Because it's for sure going to reduce the amount of times that you are at least suppressing the emotional energy, right? So I agree. Helen, remind myself that I am fearless and wonderful, as you are. Jessica, center my energy into my prana, speaking Om, the first word in Sanskrit. Raise energy from my heart space to my crown and acknowledge, but allow to pass like water, that which doesn't feel good. Excellent. Look for signs or listen to my spirit and focus on the steps needed to recenter. That was an excellent response there, Jessica. Excellent response. Mike, real men cry in the fetal position. They do. They do. Because a real man will cry in whatever way or express emotion in whatever way he feels is necessary in that moment so that he can progress and develop. And a real man wouldn't give a rat's ass what anybody thinks about it either. Right? Because a real man is in control of himself. And shit, if that's what you want to do, fetal position, cry it out, go on, do it. Because that's what we need in the moment. Sometimes I call those 1-900 numbers. I have no clue what those are. Because I don't call them. Are those... I don't know if that is a pun for, like, you know, I have no clue what those are. So I'm just gonna leave that line. Christine, go stand on the ground, connect to my heart while deep breathing until I feel a calm and connected feeling again. Yes. Wonderful. Yes. That's excellent. Mike, I'm crying now. All right. Not quite, though. Nigel, I called the Unsolved Mysteries hotline weekly until they shut it down. You'd lose out on a lot of money. John, I don't cry. Those are tears of joy. I hope so. Martin, I would center my chakra, Khan, listen to Wham, and roll with it. Hey, that sounds good, man. That sounds good. Center yourself. I think, thank you ever so much, everybody, for your comments there. That was wonderful. What I would do to literally to calm myself in a place of fear, panic, doubt, and anxiety, my 3 steps that I would take to bring my mind and focus back to the now moment. I think what I would do is, for one, I would listen to my heart's desire, and I'd listen to my heart's content. Okay? So I would feel my heart and just be like, what is right? I would reconnect to my heart. The second thing I'd do is acknowledge that whatever I'm feeling is false. Alright? Because what we have to remember is that fear or panic, doubt, and anxiety are all basis of fear. Alright? They all stem from fear. Fear is what exists in the past or what exists in the future. It does not exist in the now moment. So I would have to remind myself, after feeling my heart, remind myself that whatever the feeling I am feeling right now is based off of a falsity. It is based off of a lie. Right? Because we cannot progress and we cannot move forward if we are basing our decisions off of lies. So first, find my heart. Acknowledge that whatever it is that I'm feeling is a lie. Then the third thing I would do is I would process that in my now moment. So I could understand what is it regarding this lie that is affecting me right now. And then literally, once you do that, you have understanding of the situation, of the panic, doubt, or anxiety, or the fear. So once you've understood it, come to the conclusions of what it is, then it no longer has an effect on you. So you feel it one time, and then you move on, never to feel it again. So that is what I would do. So, again, thank you ever so much. Martin, I feel you, Ness. Maintain the calm throughout the cosmos of my inner being. Peace. Namaste. Namaste, my friend. Thank you very much, Martin. Mike, this is my rock. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Without my rock, I am nothing. Oh, I feel better. John, you say, I feel better about myself and my rock. Good. This show rocks. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad you are enjoying yourself. So what about those horse people you mentioned? Oh, I'm definitely getting onto that. But I want you guys to know, though, if you are thinking, because we are on the topic of rocks, your rock is always and forever your heart. It is your center. It is the core of your being. It is your truth. Whenever you are finding your truth, find your rock, find your heart, and you literally cannot be led down the wrong path. Right? Find your heart and nothing but wonder will come to you. I promise you this. I promise you this. And if you don't believe me, and you think I am full of nothing but horseshit, I dare you to try it. I dare you to try living out your life in love, finding your heart and connecting to yourself, and not giving a rat's ass what anybody thinks about you. Loving yourself truly and wholly, without the opinions of another individual. Trusting yourself and the beautiful tingles that you have in your heart. Right? That is your spirit, that is your guide, that is you. Trust in you. Trust in the feelings of love that you have. You cannot go wrong. You cannot. So thank you. But, okay. Right, let's have a look here. You guys got a lot of stuff here. Thank you. Alright, okay. So, what I am going to do is I wanted to tell you guys, because we are now finished with our questions for today, and thank you so much everybody who participated in it, who came on camera. I know we didn't have a lot of individuals come on camera, but don't worry, we'll do this again another day. And I'll have better, no echoes hopefully, on my camera. But I want to leave you guys with this to think about, because this is one of the things that during this week of inner work that I did that exhausted me, it was one of the realizations of the prophecy with the 4 horsemen. Now, if you've never heard of the 4 horsemen before, I definitely implore you to just do like 10-15 minutes of research and read up a little bit about it. But basically, the 4 horsemen have been prophesized so often. They come very often, and they are part of the when the apocalypse comes, right? However, for me, it is not necessarily when the apocalypse comes, but it is part of a cycle that has been happening over and over and over again. So I'm going to say when the harvest comes, right? The 4 horsemen seem to always come around when the harvest is in effect. Now, what are the 4 horsemen? Well, firstly, the first, and by the way, I'm going to connect this with all of our lives and how it's going through right now. And I want you to really think about this one, okay? So, you have the first horseman, right, which is the white horse. This has two symbolic notions to it. The first symbol of it is, the first horseman is the white horse, and it is pestilence. But it also symbolizes the kickstart or the coming of, if you want to look at it in a biblical standpoint, the coming of Christ or whatever like that, or the all that kind of stuff. But you can say it is the turn of the age, or the new event, or of a new beginning. Okay? But anywho, so the first horse is pestilence. Now, pestilence is dis-ease, is illness, and is in sickness. So again, if the apocalypse is coming, because you know we had our question here in regards to the apocalypse and everything. If the apocalypse is here, the first horse is pestilence. Disease is riddled throughout the world. Disease is riddled throughout your body. So if we are looking at our own selves to begin with, how many of us have been riddled with disease? How many of us are going to the doctor constantly with a virus, with bacteria, with parasites, with aches and pains all over our body? You know, how many of us have been to the doctor for these things? Pestilence. When we look at the world around us, and I want us to open our eyes a little bit to get ourselves out of our own little bubble and our own little world, and like literally look at the world. Look at how much disease and illness is amongst us. People are dying every single day on a consistent basis. Millions of people are dying through pestilence, through disease. John, I don't like that horse that didn't win at the track last week. No, it's not winning at all. It's not winning because it's coming. It is the kickstart. So I want you to think, right? Think of all of the disease that has come on. We have so many vaccinations out there, but yet we have so much disease. All right? First sign of the apocalypse. Now, sign number 2. Sign number 2, or not sign, horse number 2, is the brown horse of war, right? Every single day, we are fighting a battle within ourselves, within our own bubbles. We are fighting a battle, or the war, to make better decisions, to shift our focus, to stop focusing on this negative. So we fight a war there. But then I want you to think, how much war is going on in the world right now? There's war everywhere. There is a war domestically. There's a war in your own bubble going on. The war is between yourself and your subconscious entity and your conscious entity. This is a war, right? The next war that you're going on is there's the domestic wars. You have civil wars. The war against crime, the war against it's the war against humanity, right? You got to think, in your community, people are pitched against each other. They are riled up by the news and by the media to hate one another. So we are constantly at war with each other, with our neighbors. Our countries are at war with each other consistently. There is always something that is happening where we need to invade another country is being invading us. There's war everywhere. Second horse. So we've seen the first horse of disease come through. The second horse, war, although war has been around for centuries, it's really getting crazy now, isn't it? Where even our own countries, within our own citizens, have military equipment around us. Why do we need tanks in our cities? Why do we need this? Right? Why do we need it? So again, second sign of the apocalypse, war. It is everywhere. Disease and war riddles us all over the place. Third horseman, the black horse of the apocalypse, brings famine. But how is this famine brought when technically we should be living in complete and utter abundance? Right? Famine, the price of bread, of grains, of foods has gotten so high that people no longer can afford to eat properly. But what is available to you? Alcohol. Again, let's look at this pattern here. The first horse has come, we are riddled with disease. The second horse has come, we are riddled with war. Third horse is here, we are riddled with famine. People cannot afford to feed their families. Right? So many people have to choose. Do I spend that extra money and get that organic, or do I try to save as much money and get the cheaper stuff? But all I can afford is the cheaper stuff, and the cheaper stuff is normally rotting or full of chemical. Who is doing this? Who is driving up these prices? Why are we participating? Right? So that's the third horseman, is famine. And this is amongst us now. And the thing is, if we were to look at the Roman Empire when this was going through, hello Edwin, when this was going through, they would keep the citizens in a state of such poverty, of such famine, that they could afford bread and wine. Bread does not hold enough nourishment for your body, and wine keeps you stupid. Right? Always keeping you at a state of need, of want, of not having. but just giving you enough to keep your survival going. It traps you in the cycle. All right? Now, the last horseman is death. That is the pale, sickly, kind of greenish, yellowish horse. And death is the last horse. Okay? Now, by the way, again, I'm not a biblical individual, but this is a reference, because again, we take everything from everywhere, right? The last horse is death. Okay? Because if you have accepted illness and disease, if you have accepted war, and if you have accepted famine, then the last horse is death. And will you accept death? I sure as shit know I'm not. And I definitely don't want you guys to do it either. So think of it this way. Alright? We all have our own horsemen that we need to overcome. How do we overcome the first horseman of pestilence, of disease? You take care of your body. Alright? Take care of your damn body. If you want to survive this period coming through here, if you want to survive this pattern that has been repeated over and over again, century after century, this pattern has been in repetition. Right? When you raise frequency, you can finally see this pattern. You see the pattern for what it is. It is your job to now stop this pattern. And if you don't stop the pattern, this is the consequences, the fourth horse. So again, pestilence, will you allow yourself to be within dis-ease in your body, to be within illness and sickness? Will you allow yourself to do it? If you say no to this, and you're like, screw that, I ain't gonna do this shit, take better care of yourself. Your body is a beautiful machine that is self-healing, if only you put the right things in it in order for it to work. And stop ladling our bodies with chemicals, with artificial substances, right? That keep our pineal gland calcified, that keep our bodies in this lower frequency, where disease and illness and pestilence resides. All right? So say F you to the first horseman by taking care of your body. The second horseman, war for your own self. Don't accept war. Right? Look within your heart and feel what I'm saying at the moment. You know, if you see war going on around you, don't participate in it. Don't encourage it. Don't put your focus on it. Because the more you place your focus on this atrocious action of hate, the more it will come to fruition. So, if you do not want to be a victim of the second horseman, do not participate in the actions of the second horseman, which is war. Don't participate. Do not give your consent to this. Third, all right? Third is famine. The price of foods, the price of what it is to nourish your body is becoming so increasingly high that it is making people make the choice or the decision to literally put chemical in their body that again leaves you open for horse number one, which is pestilence. Okay? So when will we make the decision to eat better food? I know I've made that decision because we grow your own. Food is there in abundance. If only you choose to put a seed in the dirt. If only you choose to go out in nature and go find your food. It is there for you. It really is there for you. And it will literally stop the third horseman in its tracks. There cannot be famine if you are aware that you can always be fed. There are other ways of getting around this. There are other ways of nourishing yourself that does not include a supermarket. That does not include the transfer of money to anybody. You can feed yourself. You can. And I know that there's a lot of people who are just like, I don't know how to grow. I don't have any space. I live in an apartment. A plant needs dirt and it needs water. And it needs sunlight. That's all you require. Grow what you can. Grow what you can, nourish yourself with what you can, so you can not be affected by horseman number 3. Now, if you can do these things, then horseman number 4 has no business being with you. If your body is well and you do not suffer from any sort of disease or illness, you cannot be taken that way. If you are not participating in any war, any violence, any hate, any crimes against your heart, it will not come to you. All right? So there's nothing to fear. If you are indeed taking care of yourself and not succumbing to the ones, the powers that be, who want to keep you in servitude, grow your food. Take control of your nourishment and what goes into your body. Then you literally will be provided with the energy and nutrients your body needs. So again, death will not see you. All right? And I say this to you guys. And again, look up the 4 horsemen if it's something that interests you. Because this is what we are seeing. These are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, because literally this is what is going on. This is how the end of the world as we know it, the world of the 3-dimensional world, will be ending. Right? And it is those who can steer away those 4 horsemen who will see the 5D world that we will be all within very, very soon. Right? And again, I always say, you don't believe me, you don't want to follow that, if you're just like, what is that? Then don't even worry about it. Right? If you're not ready for the information yet, that's okay. As you raise frequency, it'll come to you. But right now, I just implore you, make better decisions. Right? Make better decisions. I'm here with you all the way. My energy is with you. All you would ever have to do is accept it. Just say, Kulipup, I accept your energy. And you will have a consistent stream of energy, because I will provide you energy that will not go away unless you are giving it away to war, to pestilence. You know? Don't give your energy away to these negative things. Don't give your energy away to these horsemen. Don't give your energy away to famine and to death. Don't give it away. Right? Live in love, live in light, live in positivity, and my energy will be with you for as long as you want to live. Right? Because I'm going to be here for a few hundred years. Laura, you say, sorry, off topic, but will you be posting the rest of the abilities and frequency list? Feel free to do the people starting on L next. Oh, bless you. Yes, I am still definitely, everybody, I am still definitely trying to get back on my list. This week, I was knocked out with my own development, so I was not able to work an iota on anything. But slowly but surely, I will be doing these lists. I know we're all waiting in patiently, and thank you for having patience with me. But we are definitely going to be getting that done. Don't agree with my interpretation of the horseman. Oh no, sorry, Jessica. Let me go back to it here. Oh, sorry. Like the 4 stages of root races evolution: golden age, iron age, etc. Each stage indicative of what is occurring at that stage. Yes, definitely, I do agree. The first horseman was Justin Bieber. Oh my gosh, no, he's a program. The war against Christmas. There's always wars. Bless you. Jessica, disease is essentially the necessity to heal the minds of men. War is to heal our conflict in our hearts. Famine is the need to heal each other and care for one another. Reminds us to give ourselves to receive abundance. The United States is modeled after the Roman Empire, so we know what's coming, right? Death is the need to heal our life force and energy by valuing and recognizing its infinite nature. Yeah, that's a great interpretation, right? Thank you, Jessica. I think so many people can interpret the 4 horsemen however you want to interpret it, to be honest with you. It's literally just something to think of. But it stands very, very, very true. Pestilence, war, oh my gosh, why is this the word? Famine. I was like, family, no, that's not the word. Famine and pestilence, war, famine. All of these together will equal death. That's just, it's like 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. Like, that's basically what it is. Or 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 4. No, I agree. Jessica, yes, no, I do. I think it, but again, I believe that you can interpret the 4 horsemen in so many different ways, to be honest. When I look at it as, when I interpret the horsemen, I look at it literally as each horse you can identify with so many things in what you do in your life, right? Was trying to think about how to help mankind as a whole with inner work and our core to leave the game. Yes. Oh, by the way, that is something I definitely want to do. I want to do a video based on, like, literally gamer's guide on how we play this game in a little bit more deeper understanding. It's probably going to be like a part 1, part 2, part 3 kind of thing, kind of lesson, but we will totally get there. Definitely know we will get there. So that should be really, really fun. Right, so I will just give you guys a little bit of update as to what is going to be happening for next week, or what I'm going to be trying to do. So next week, we are going to be going through another frequency upgrade. These are going to happen faster, and they're going to start being like really, really, really close together. Oh, Susan, yes, thank you ever so much for staying up with us, my sweetheart. Oh, it was a pleasure having you. And yes, please go to bed. Rest well, my sweetheart. Rest well, and tomorrow's another day, of course. So we are going through another frequency upgrade, so I do want everybody to expect to be a little bit tired over the next little bit. I'm sure if you were following me with the frequency and the work I was doing, when I say following me, I mean in your heart, you may have already felt really tired this week, but we're going to be going through another kind of jump. So just remember to take care of your bodies, take care of your minds, become aware of your surroundings, and just follow your heart and do what is in your heart's desire at the time, literally, and just go out there and be free and have fun. I want to be coming up at you with some more talks on the system, okay? What is it? How do you actually identify the system at, like, everywhere you go? Christy, love you. Yes, ma'am, I'm tired. Please, please, go to sleep. Thank you, Christy, for joining us. Anybody, please, go to sleep. I know it's really late, and I thank you so much for staying up and of course, being with us for tonight. I thought it was wonderful. Yes, so we're going to be going through topics about the system. Okay, so how to identify the system? How to identify this board what we are all playing on, right? And recognize it for what it is, and how to avoid it, how to exit it. Because again, a lot of us, when we start following our purpose, we can't stay in the system, because the system is a lie. And when you live in love, you live in truth. And you can't live in truth and live in a lie at the same time. It just won't work. So we're gonna go through that and see how we can, of course, get you out of here, get you out of the system, so we can start living freely. I also want to do a live on spirit animals, specifically what they're here for, what they do, how to identify yours as well. So spirit animals. And I want to, of course, go through a lot of other things. I'm going to try to get through to the over the group as well and answer as many comments that I've missed throughout this week. So I definitely do that. Laura, thank you very much, Laura. 3 a.m. Oh, please go to bed. Thank you again. Sleep well, my heart. So yeah, we're going to be going through a lot of things. I'm going to try to catch up on there. As a reminder, if you sent me a message this week, it is no doubt lost in my endless messages that I do get. If I can get around to you, I definitely will. If I've missed your message, please either post directly to my profile, post directly to the group, or you can send me another message to see if you can be bumped back up to the top. But I can't guarantee I'll get to everybody's message, but I really will try. But anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me tonight, everybody, and we will be back again. And I enjoyed learning so much about everybody who participated, and all of you who are here, and I love you. So live in love, live in light, and just be good, and let's make some great decisions. Good night, everybody.